Voting for the second phase of the Bihar elections of 2025 is underway in 122 of the state's 243 constituencies. The overall polling figure till 3 p.m. is at 60.4% after the record turnout witnessed in the first phase of the elections. Massive voter turnout in Bihar's second phase of voting. A tightly contested battle between the BJP JDU-led National Democratic Alliance and the RJD Congress Party-led Mahagathbandhan. Bear in mind, campaigning for this phase was extremely high-pitched as leaders from both alliances, including Union Home Minister Amit Shah, leader of the opposition in the Lok Sabha and MP Rahul Gandhi, Tejas Yadav, the chief ministerial candidate of the Mahagathbandhan, and UP's Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath held multiple rallies, roadshows and public meetings, pulling out all stops to woo voters. One of the areas in focus is Seemanchal, with its 24 seats across Purnea, Araria, Kishanganj and Katihar. They hold huge sway with a major share of Bihar's Muslim voters. It's where Muslim Yadav consolidation can decide fortunes. Crucial for the RJD alliance, while the BJP and allies push hard to break that hold. The Phase 2 battle for Bihar has 122 constituencies, as we told you, across 20 districts of the state. It's a crowded field with over 1,300 candidates, 1,302 to be precise, including 136 women. Around 4 crore voters will decide the fight as they head to polling booths today. The first phase of polling on the 6th of November saw a voter turnout of nearly 65%, raising expectations of a high-stakes fight and a higher turnout in this final round.
हम चाहते हैं पूर्णिया, सीमांचल, कोसी और बिहार का विकास, भ्रष्टाचार से मुक्त बिहार, दलाली, इंस्पेक्टर राज, महागुंडा राज, माफियागिरी और धन पशुओं से मुक्ति मिले और सिर्फ लोग अपनी जिंदगी के लिए जिए।
लोगों से मेरा अपील है और दिल से अपील है कि जिस प्रकार से आप लोग 6/11 को वोट किया है, उससे ज़्यादा परसेंटेज में वोट कीजिए और वोट एनडीए के पक्ष में कीजिए, क्योंकि यहाँ डबल इंजन की सरकार चल रही है। नरेंद्र मोदी जी का पूर्वोदय का कल्पना है, जिसमें बिहार भी एक स्टेट आता है और यहाँ जो भी अलॉटमेंट होना है उससे चौगुना यहाँ अलॉटमेंट मिल रहा है। अगर कहीं कोई घटना होती है तो 48 घंटे में उसको, चाहे पक्ष का रहे चाहे विपक्ष का रहे, कोई किसी को नहीं यहाँ फंसाया जाता है और न बचाया जाता है। ये सिद्धांत पर नीतीश कुमार की सरकार चल रही है, इसलिए इससे अच्छा सरकार नहीं हो सकती है। हम अपना 46 वर्ष की तजुर्बा पेश कर रहे हैं और जनता से अपील करते हैं कि खूब वोट दीजिए और एनडीए के पक्ष में दीजिए।
बिहार के लोगों से अपील करेंगे कि पिछले चरण में जो रिकॉर्ड मतदान हुआ है उसको आज ब्रेक कीजिए, बिहार में बदलाव के लिए वोट कीजिए, अपने बच्चों के शिक्षा और रोजगार के लिए वोट कीजिए। जैसे पहले चरण में लोगों ने वोट किया है उससे भी ज्यादा बढ़ चढ़ के वोट कीजिए, ताकि 14 तारीख को बिहार में एक नई व्यवस्था बने, एक ऐसी व्यवस्था बने जिसमें आपके बच्चों के लिए पढ़ाई हो, आपके बच्चों के लिए रोजगार हो, बिहार से पलायन बंद हो, भ्रष्टाचार खत्म हो। ये आपका मौका है। आज अगर आप गलती कर गए, आज आप चूके, तो अगले 5 साल जिस व्यवस्था से आप त्रस्त हैं, जिस भ्रष्टाचार से आप परेशान हैं, जिस सरकार की जिन नाकामियों को आप गिनाते रहते हैं, रोज चर्चा करते हैं, उन्हीं नाकामियों के साथ आपको अगले 5 साल बिताने पड़ेंगे।
देखिए, मैंने वोट कर दिया है और सबसे अपील है कि सब लोग वोट करें। हमने जलपान नहीं किया, पहले मतदान किया है, अभी जाके फिर जलपान करेंगे। बिहार में विकास के मुद्दे पर सब पूरा बिहार एकजुट है और हमें पूरी उम्मीद है कि विकास रुकेगा नहीं, तेजी से विकास आगे बढ़ेगा और विकास की जो धारा बही है वो जनता रुकने नहीं देगी।
The polling is underway in the state of Bihar, and this time around a new factor is on ground, which could be seen. That is the MY factor. Now, the earlier NY factor used to be the Muslim and Yuva factor, but this time around, the MY factor is the Mahila and Youth factor, and that is the reason why all the political parties are focusing on the Mahila and Youth factor. Now, during the first phase, in different polling booths across the state, huge line of women voters could be seen, and same could be said for the second phase as well. You can see large turnaround of women voters on ground who have come out to cast their vote. We'll speak to them, get to know what are the issues that the women voters in the state of Bihar are facing. क्या मुद्दे हैं इस बार के महिला वोटर्स की अगर बात करें तो?
सुरक्षा का मुद्दा है। महिला सबसे ज़्यादा चाहती है कि उन्हें सुरक्षित वातावरण मिले, और मतलब युवाओं का है कि उन्हें रोजगार मिले बिहार में, बस, और विकास हो बिहार का, यही मुद्दा है।
मैडम, आप क्या
हम लोग चाहेंगे कि शहर सुरक्षित रहे और हम लोग भी सुरक्षित रहें। जहाँ पर रोड है गंदा वहाँ पर साफ हो, और सब लोग सब जगह अच्छा रहे, सुरक्षित रहे, और क्या यही चाहेंगे।
आप क्या कहेंगे?
बोले कि गया का विकास तो हो रहा है, लेकिन गौरी मठ गली का विकास नहीं हो रहा है। वो गंदगी पहले जैसा ही है, एकदम कभी साफ होने का नाम ही नहीं लेता है जो काम है। तो इसी के लिए हम आग्रह करते हैं कि वो सब मोहल्ला भी साफ रहे।
So there you go, that the women voters who have come out, in fact, what was interesting to see is that they are pointing out about the local issues that they are facing in their own colonies or in their own area. So the women voters who are coming out in large numbers to cast their vote are mostly speaking about the local issues, what is missing in the district of Gaya or what is missing in their own colonies, what problems are they facing is what the women voters are primarily talking about. In the first phase, there has been bumper voting of around 65%, and in the second phase also there is a lot of excitement which could be seen on ground, and all the alliance, whether it is the NDA or the Mahagathbandhan, are hoping that this time around in the second phase there would be bumper voting. Let me get the pulse on ground what the people of Gaya thinks about. सर, आपसे पूछूंगा कि क्या मुद्दे हैं इस बार के चुनाव के आपके हिसाब से?
नहीं, मोदी जी तो बहुत अच्छे हैं। मोदी जी के चलते हम लोग वोट दे रहे हैं। उन्हीं को विचारधारा बहुत अच्छे लगते हैं हमको, इसीलिए वोटिंग करने आए। उन्हीं को हाथ को मजबूत कर रहे हैं हम लोग।
आप क्या कहेंगे सर, मुद्दे क्या है इस बार के?
देश विकास हो ही रहा है सर। मोदी जी भी अच्छा सब खाता में दे रहे हैं, पेंशन दे ही रहे हैं, नीतीश बाबू भी सब चीज दे ही रहे हैं, राशन उसन सब चालू है,
जीविका दीदी के पैसे भी आ रहे हैं।
हाँ, सब आ रहा है, इससे बढ़िया कौन हो सकता है?
आप क्या कहेंगे भैया, क्या मुद्दे हैं इस बार के?
इस मुद्दे सर इसी है कि हम लोग तो थोड़ा काम उम में दिक्कत होता है, बाकी सब चीज़ अच्छा है, डेवलप भी हो रहा है धीरे धीरे, सारा चीज़ बढ़िया है।
तो आपको लगता है अगर यहाँ यही काम मिल जाए तो बाहर के राज्यों में नहीं जाना पड़ेगा?
नहीं, ये तो है। और भी सब बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो अपने घर द्वार छोड़ते जाते हैं, फिर आने में परेशानी होता है। तो यहाँ कुछ बन जाए ऐसा फैक्ट्री जिससे काम धाम सारा चीज़ यहाँ ही मिल जाए, तो इंसान परेशान भी नहीं होगा और अपने फैमिली से दूर भी नहीं जाएगा।
तकलीफ होती है मतलब फैमिली को छोड़ के इतना दूर जाने के लिए काम?
बिल्कुल।
सर, आप क्या कहेंगे, क्या मुद्दे हैं इस बार के चुनाव के?
बस मुद्दा मोदी जी को जानते हैं, बाकी कोई मुद्दा नहीं।
अच्छा, कोई मुद्दा नहीं, विकास हो रहा है?
विकास हो रहा है।
सर, आप क्या कहेंगे?
हमारा मुद्दा रहेगा रोजगार, स्वरोजगार और शिक्षा। इसके अलावा जीडीपी में थोड़ा ग्रोथ होना चाहिए, क्योंकि इस समय बहुत ही मार्केट का जो स्थिति है बहुत ही डाउन चल रहा है, तो उसमें थोड़ा ग्रोथ चाहिए। बस इसके अलावा तो बाकी सब आप लोग जानते हैं।
और क्या कहेंगे सर, जो जिस हिसाब से विकास होना चाहिए उस हिसाब से हो रहा है राज्य में?
जी, राज्य का तो ठीक है, लेकिन गया का स्थिति अभी सही नहीं है। गया में जिस तरह से होना चाहिए, एक ही सरकार को हम लोग 7 बार यानी 35 साल से हम एक ही सरकार चुन रहे हैं गया से, लेकिन वैसा कुछ हो नहीं रहा है। तो हम लोग चाहते हैं कि सरकार ना बदलें, लेकिन चेहरा बदलना चाहिए, जिनका सोच थोड़ा अलग हो और आज के जनरेशन को लेकर चले।
ठीक है, आप क्या कहोगे भैया, क्या मुद्दे हैं आपके? बीजेपी। अरे वो मुद्दे आपसे पूछो, आप क्या कहेंगे सर, मुद्दे क्या है?
मोदी जी ठीक आदमी है, विकास कर रहे हैं, वहाँ भी होना चाहिए गाँव में विकास।
This is the pulse that we are picking from ground. We have spoken with both the male voters as well as the female voters, and they have put across the issues, the problems that they are facing, and what can be done better in the state of Bihar. With video journalist Rahul Singh, this is Abhisachi Roy Chaudhary for News9.
Right, and now we have Faizan Ahmed, senior journalist, with us. We also have Sabyasachi joining us live from Bihar with the latest as well. Faizan Ahmed, please stay with us. Let me first quickly take this across to Sabyasachi. Talk to us, Sabyasachi. Voter turnout till 3 p.m. already in excess of 60%. Clearly, that there's a good chance now that the second phase of polling could see a better turnout than the first one.
Well, definitely. See, by 6 p.m., the polling percentage in the state of Bihar in the second phase, it's going to cross the record of the first phase, and we are expecting that we are going to see a turnout more than 65% this time around in the second phase, because the excitement among people could be seen on ground. Large amount of people from different age groups have turned out to the polling booth to cast. One picture remains the same as the first phase is the women voters. Women voters have outnumbered the male voters in different polling booths. They have come out in large numbers to cast their votes. But what is interesting to know is that there are a lot of silent voters within the women voters. They are not revealing the fact that whether Vikas has been done, what issues are they facing. Some of the women voters were vocal. In fact, they have stated that Suraksha is a major point that they are considering, because earlier the law and order situation was not up to the mark, but now, as per the women voters with whom I have spoken to, they say that Suraksha hai, they can go out in the night, they can move out of their house freely without worrying anything. So that particular positive point has come towards the government, but also the women voters have said that yes, they are receiving money under the Jivika Didi scheme, but also they want better opportunities for their sons, for their daughters. They want that there should be good colleges in Bihar, so that their sons and daughters don't have to travel to other states for better opportunities. So this important point was made by a lot of women voters that I've spoken to. Meanwhile, the issues remain the same largely as the first phase: unemployment, better job opportunities, and even one of the voters clearly stated that they don't have any problem with the NDA government. In fact, they want that the CM phase needs to be changed. So there are some of the fatigue voters which could be seen. They have anger towards Nitish Kumar, but largely, as we talk about Nitish Kumar doing social engineering in the state of Bihar, and entire NDA is backing on the extremely backward class vote in the state, and the new MY factor will be the major game changer in the state of Bihar. What I have understood being on ground, the Mahila Yuva factor this time around would be a game changer, leaving behind the old MY factor, which is the Muslim Yadav factor, which we had continuously seen for the Mahagathbandhan. But this time all the parties have been focusing on the new MY factor, and on ground also large presence of youth as well as the Mahila voters could be seen on ground.
Of the youth and women seen on the ground is the word coming in from Sabyasachi, who's been on this election trail for days on end now. Faizan Ahmed, talk to us. A record turnout is what we're looking at when it comes to the second phase of polling in Bihar Elections 2025. A phase that will be defined by how the women and the youth of the state have come out in massive numbers to vote.
Right. See, the 60.40% turnout by 3 p.m. is historic, unprecedented. And I will say that this is good for democracy, healthy democracy. And I think by 4 it must have been now 62% or 63%. And by when the polling will be closed, I am confident that this polling percentage will go up to 67 up to 67 or more percentage. You see, and what is the more important thing is that the highest percent turnout is in Seemanchal. In Seemanchal constituencies, particularly in Kishanganj, it was 66.10% by 3 p.m. In Purnea, it is 64.20%. 22%, and in Katihar it is 63.80%. You see, I am telling you this thing because the Seemanchal is the most backward region of Bihar, where literacy rate is quite poor as compared to the rest of Bihar, and also uh, these four districts in Seemanchal, they comprise 40 to 70% population of Muslims, and here traditionally the voting percentage had been low in previous elections, but I think this is going to be a very important factor in this election. This Seemanchal voting will be a very important factor in this election, because here the election is not bipolar, it is triangular, because of the entry of All India Majlis Ittihadul Muslimin of Asaduddin Owaisi. Everywhere, almost in all 24 constituencies, it is triangular contest. So it will be very interesting to see where the Muslim vote is going, whether it is going in favor of Mahagathbandhan or going in favor of the MIM. Yeah, you see, MIM President Mr. Asaduddin Owaisi has campaigned very aggressively in this election, and he said that he was fighting with a sense of vengeance, because his four MLAs.
While you're speaking on AIMIM, it's important we discuss that a very important factor. AIMIM cutting into RJD votes because they are contesting from all constituencies in this second phase of polling. That's exactly what they did in the 2020 elections as well.
Right, that's right. And in 2020, they won 5 seats. Later on, 4 of its MLAs went to RJD. So MIM is very angry party, and OIC is fuming. He said that he will take revenge from this RJD leadership, because first they pushed its 4 MLAs, and then the party decided not to align with MIM. So that is why they are fighting with a sense of vengeance, and their aggressive aggressive posture in this election has also affected their Muslim voters in that region.
That is as far as the Muslim voters are concerned. The other, it is the MY factor specifically playing as far as second phase of voting. It's in fact for the entire Bihar elections, but then specifically the consolidation of the Muslim vote and the Yadav vote. Do you think that's happening this time around?
Well, I think in the rest of Bihar, MY, that is Muslim Yadav, it is united, and there is no question of any vote going to any other alliance. But in Seemanchal, the story is different, because Muslim votes is going to divide between RJD as well as MIM. But as your reporter has also mentioned, in Bihar, MY is now also called Mahila and Youth, and they are coming in large number on polling stations. And as I find that in first phase, women voters outnumbered men. They were around 70%, around 70% as compared to 62% of male voters. So again, in second phase, women are coming in a large number on polling booths, and they are voting in a quite excited and very happy mood. So it can be said that this factor, women and youth, they will be very, very determinant in this phase also.
Right. Let's then talk about the fact that by 6 p.m. today, we would have had record polling in Bihar put together, first phase and second phase put together. What does it portend for the final outcome? This is far exceeded anybody's expectations of the levels of polling. Even if a good turnout was what was expected, I'm sure most of them would not have expected 65% plus turnout as the average between the two phases.
Yes, you are right. That is why I said this is unprecedented.
Yeah.
Never before.
Will it
high...
yield a different outcome than what people are expecting? That's my question.
Well, it is very difficult to say because high turnout is not necessarily meaning some change or anti-incumbency or what. I can show you the figures of 2005. In 2005 assembly election, the turnout was 46% and the government changed. The 15 years old government was out and this Nitish Kumar came into power. That was only 46% of vote. There was no anti-incumbency or whatever. Although in 1990, when Lalu Yadav came and Congress was out, the polling percentage was around 60%. So you cannot say and we cannot assume that the high percentage of voting is going in favor or in against of which party or alliance.
Okay, so you're saying that you cannot read too much into these high voter turnout figures because the reason why I'm asking is because Mr. Nitish Kumar has a 20-year monopoly on the chief ministership. It's unheard of, in terms of not just India but across the world. If you were to check, a province's chief, having a 20-year reign and still, going out strong, campaigning with with an alliance partner who's held his party in good stead. When all said and done, a 20-year monopoly will yield some anti-incumbency.
Yes, that is quite strange. 20 years. This is also a historic tenure of a chief minister, not only in Bihar but in the country. But still there are very few voices of concern or voices of anger against the Nitish Kumar. There, mainly after 5 years, an anti-incumbency can be seen everywhere, anywhere where election is being held. But this time I could not find much anger or opposition against Nitish Kumar, and this is also very unprecedented kind of politics. Or you can say that Nitish Kumar has made, despite his flip-flop politics, changing sides, and despite that, he is still a very popular face in Bihar, and no party, I will say no party in NDA has as much popular face as Nitish Kumar. Okay, in Mahagathbandhan, Tejashi Yadav has been made this chief ministerial face, but still Nitish Kumar, I think, is the number one choice. And after this election, whether his alliance wins or not, he will emerge as the hero of this election.
Okay, that is your prediction. He will emerge as a hero of this election. At this stage, if I were to ask you, as polling is coming to a close, your projections of the number of seats that the NDA could win?
Well, I think in last election 2020, NDA had almost 17 seats more than Mahagathbandhan, and this time I feel that this difference will be more than 17%. It may be 25% also.
Okay, so you're saying that it's going to be what, a 20% increase from last year's tally?
Yes, and this phase is going to decide the the fate of the two alliances.
You mean to say that for the polling in the second phase, the way the seats are going to go in the second phase of elections, that is the one is going to be the clincher as far as the party that gets to form the government, the alliance that gets to form the government?
Yes, Krishna. Yes, definitely. That is the picture here.
Okay, that is the picture over here. We will leave it at that. Faizan Ahmed, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us here on News 9.